I don't get why you just can't pay these people what they're asking. You flip them for so much more money than you pay for this stuff. That's just wrong. Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin. Welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. I've got some friends in here today. I got one right there, a little angel. I got this one over here begging for treats. And they always kind of ground me a little bit because I'll tell you what, sometimes I get a little upset. What are you digging into the bag over there? About different things, but eBay sales are plugging along. They're a little slower than usual for this last week, I'd say, which, you know, it's not the end of the world. It was the end of a month. We're now in a new month here, and so sales sometimes can slow down there too, but I have been hearing reports that they're slow for a lot of folks. I don't know if that's the case out there for you. Tell me in the comments below. But I've got a bunch of things I'm working on, and it doesn't seem like too many people want to do what their actual job is lately. It's a bit of an update on the scammer thing that we did last video. And I've got a few more things as well, including a comment on the Commonwealth Picker channel that I haven't talked about this in a while, and I want to talk about it a little bit more. Like, why don't all you pickers just pay up for stuff? You're always trying to nickel and dime people and get a better deal. And so I want to address that a little bit today as well and get your opinion of it. But we do have some sales and a couple cool ones as well. Let's go take a look. I guess I've reached that age where it's, you know, get off my lawn, kids. But it seems like nobody wants to do anything about anything, even if that something is their actual job. But I do have another comment I want to read in a minute. Now, I've got two of these. Now, both of them have tags, but I did two separate listings, and I don't quite remember why. There had to be a reason somewhere, like a mark on it or something. But either way, I'm going to find the right one. One of these two sold. And I don't suppose it much matters if I can't find a difference, but I'd normally do quantity of 2. I guess you see the fraying at the bottom. There it is. See the stain there? So I'll have to check to see which one's which. This one sold for $13.95. And it does say repeat buyer, so I'm going to say thank you to Nora. If there's anybody who wants me to read something or say something, make sure you put it in the buyer's note when you purchase the item. The rest of them I kind of miss, so my apologies. I had somebody send me a nasty message the other day. I didn't read their comment, and that was the reason why they put it in a message instead of in that. I have a little piece of plastic on there I gotta get off. Anyway, I'm boring you here. Let's move on to the next item. But $13.95 plus shipping for one of these two cowboy dinos. Can't believe any cowboy stuff's flying right now. Ooh, it's windy out there. Sold a Cam Newton jersey right here. I believe this one's got the tags in it. That one sold for $45 plus shipping. What are you doing over there, huh? So the first update, if you watch the scammer videos, that dog is grabbing those things by himself. Look at how nice and sweet Sophie is, though. Although she looks like she wants him too. Anyway, let me finish this and kick Wallen out of here for a second. The update is that there really is no update. So seems to be getting a lot of, hey, thank you for the report, we'll get back to you, or we won't get back to you, you won't know the outcome of this thing. That's like, golly, really? But if you haven't seen that, you can go back and check that out. I will continue to update you from time to time if I know anything else, and let me know out there if anybody out there is dealing with any of these similar type scams or the same exact scam. If you've been watching me for a long time, you probably remember me selling a bunch of minor league baseballs. And those were from an independent league, but they were the same quality as Major League Baseballs. I still pick these up when I find them. If they're $1 even, I'll pick them up. This one is really, really worn, faded. This one here is in better shape. Both have autographs on them. I recognize that one as Buster Olney. I can't even pronounce it. He's an announcer. This one I didn't recognize. It does have some issues, but I think it's Milton Bradley. That's what the folks said on there. And so 2 Major League Baseballs, and we sold them fairly cheap. Believe it or not, $13.50 plus shipping. I think I probably paid a quarter or 50 cents for them. So not a great big win, but sometimes you find just regular used Major League Baseballs in good condition. You can get $12 to $15 easy for them plus shipping. So we got another one back there. But even minor league baseballs will sell. Usually the minor league ones, because we have a team around here, we pile them up and try to get a dozen before we sell them. But a lot of times me and Turner will go to the games, and if we can get a foul ball or two, we've paid for the game. It's pretty good. But baseballs are good money if they're leather. Don't ever buy the plastic ones. I want to get to this criticism about pickers and not paying up or not paying the asking price in a second, but I want to add one more thing to the previous comment. I'm going to do it after this hat right here. Here's another Filson hat. We've talked about these, sold one. This one right here, believe it or not, just that hat, because of that brand name right there, sold for $62, $61.70 plus shipping for that. I think it's wool hat right there. If you ever find these, pick them up. They're good money. I said in that video, if you recall, that it wasn't just a straight indictment of eBay. There's other factors involved here, and really it's kind of a bigger problem than that, just all over the country. And we just had a friend of ours, a couple of friends of ours, had their car broken into at, well, I don't need to go into the details, but those folks stole her bag, everything in it, went before, well, the bank should have taken care of it. I don't want to get into the details, like I said, but they had the gall to take that stuff without IDs, or use the IDs but without the right person, and emptied out savings accounts. And it was done like that. Absolutely insane. And all this information in different places with cameras and all this evidence out there, and so far absolutely nothing has been done with it. And it just blows my mind that people just let this stuff go by. But it seems to be epidemic, and it's a little crazy. But all these different things, I don't suspect I'll hear much of anything back, which is insane to me. And all the suggestions that folks have given us and given John and all that, I get it, but it's a little bit more of a challenge than that. But I still think it's important to be persistent. You know, the squeaky wheel does really truly get the grease, and it happens in all walks of life, especially as a teacher. I know the parents that were the squeaky wheels, boy, and eventually you just relent and it's like, fine, just go away. But it's definitely the case, and it seems like even though people have specific jobs, whether it's the post office or whatever, it's like pulling teeth to get stuff done sometimes. I get that. I'm sure that's how Death Pile Picker feels about me when he's trying to set up all these things we're doing over the coming months. Our next item isn't really a sale here, but it is a bit of a story, and it is a transaction, so I'm going to show it to you. Some of you may remember me picking this up at a sale with Jimmy Old School Flips, and I am not a guitar guy. I don't really know much about it, and I was doing some research, and I can't decide how to price this thing out. There's some similar that are way up there, some very similar that are way down there. It's like, I don't even know if this thing's worth, you know, 600, 800, I don't know what it's worth. So I had my buddy Mojo over there from Mojo Dojo. He sent me a message. He's like, oh man, I'd love to, you know, what are you selling it for or whatever. And I'm like, okay, try this one out. I'm going to ship this to you. And he finds amazing stuff over there near Cincinnati or in Cincinnati. And we are planning on doing all kinds of stuff here in the coming months. And since you have amazing stuff, and I'll let some of the cat out of the bag here maybe in this video, but one of those things is Whatnot's agreed to do some giveaway stuff for our shows. I'm like, sweet, I'll take the giveaway stuff for sure. And we'll give it away to a bunch of people who come on over. And so I want some pretty cool stuff. I have a ton of stuff, but I want some stuff that I normally don't pick up around here to sprinkle into these sales. So I'm like, I'm going to send you this. And when you get it, I want you to fill a box up with your stuff of what you think it's worth and ship it back to me. And we're going to sell all that box off in one show. And we'll see how I did on it. And I'll post after the show and I'll let you know. I'll give you an update. I might even bring this clip back in and see how much. I think I paid $350 for this guitar, or $360 or something. I can't remember what I paid, but very close to that. Certainly in the 300s. So we'll see what he sends me. He's a really good dude. I'm going to ship it to him, and he's going to ship me a box back. And we'll see what we get. I'll open it on here, and then we'll put it all on a Dipped It or a Whatnot show and just sell it all off at once, total it up, and see what I got for that, see if I made any money. Speaking of haggling, in this comment in just a second, it was an older gentleman, absolutely awesome guy, and I wasn't really comfortable. I think at $400, I wasn't terribly comfortable at $350 because I saw stuff that was all over the board, but it looks such quality. And I'm like, I know we're going to make money on this somehow. I just didn't know how much. So we got it for a little discount. He was still happy. He was just a good dude. And this sale right here is a cross-listing sale, which is cool. Shout out was Perfectly Co. Commonwealth. And is Woodwick, I can't even say it, Wax Melts Spiced Blackberry. And we got a whole box of these super cheap. And they've been slow sellers, but That right there looks like 29 bucks to me. I'll take it. So this comment came from Commonwealth Picker video. It says, it's from No Regrets, I guess is the person who sent it. I don't get why you just can't pay these people what they're asking. You flip them for so much more money than you pay for this stuff. That's just wrong. So that's a comment that I get all the time. I mean, not quite in that way, but almost daily on some platform. And we've talked about it, but it's been a long time since we have. And I've found that even some flippers out there, folks that do what we do, they don't like to haggle at all. And that's perfectly fine. Your prerogative, no worries whatsoever. But a lot of us do. And depending on where you're at, like if you're at this flea market, which is where this video was at, and you're not haggling, then something's not right, because it's hard to make money on some of these prices. Now, there's a couple things as it relates to the videos. People make assumptions that I know what stuff's going to sell for, and a lot of it I do, let's just face it. But a lot of it I don't, and sometimes they're throw-ins, sometimes it's just kind of feeling it out a little bit, and you just don't know, and so you don't want to overpay. And sometimes in the past you have overpaid, or I have overpaid, and you've been burnt that way, so you don't want to make those same mistakes twice. You want to have leeway and some give in there so that when you do have an item that's sat around forever, you can reduce it and still make money on that item. But what I think people just don't get, and you guys know this, I'm preaching to the choir, is how much work goes into this. If you're buying even at 10 or 20% sometimes of the eventual selling price, that's where you want to be. You don't want to be at 50%. If you're buying something for 20 bucks and selling it for 40 bucks, these people don't get the costs involved in it. And you're just not making much money for your time if you're doing that stuff. So I'd love to hear some of your arguments out there for why it's good practice to get a discount. One of the things I always say that some people do get immediately is, I buy 5,000 things a year. If I can shave a little bit off of every single one, I'm making myself a pretty nice little raise. How many people in normal jobs are willing to give their raise away just to be fair, quote unquote, to people out there? And the reality of it is, if I agree on the price and they agree on the price, even if it's discounted off of their original asking price, it's still a fair and ethical buy. That's all there is to it. I don't need the approval of anybody in the comments, and they don't need my approval when they go somewhere and buy something. When they buy a car, if they want to pay full sticker or whatever, that's fine. That's their business. But to make it, for my mind, ethical and a good deal is to have two people agree on the price. All right, y'all, Reagan came in a little early today, so we're putting this earlier in the video, and she brought a little friend, No Name. Huh.
He's making the biscuits.
That's right. All right, who you want to thank?
Robert, Jody, and that's the Toy Addict.
Toy Addict.
Barry, Jareel, Roman is Anytime Picker, Chris, Joseph, Patricia, and she got a green shirt and a Commonwealth Flipper sticker, and then Chris got an Animal Man.
That's right, and everybody else got those. And it's one last announcement, because we're going to announce something else coming up. These are almost gone. We're not reordering these. And so if you want a blue one, head on over there. You know, it's a great little Valentine's gift, and we're going to be putting out a brand new one soon. Very, very soon. Matter of fact, by the time you hear this video, we might have it up. So all of you who want to take a crazy risk and get your significant other a plush enema for Christmas, for Valentine's, go for it. But don't blame me if it blows up in your face. No pun intended. All right, Reagan, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Bye, and don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPickers.com.
All right, y'all, my wife came in here, which is good, because you need to take these animals out of here.
He's the best one. You like him.
I do. No Name is my favorite.
They put me on the camera.
No Name used to live underneath the shed, didn't you? Now this is your home. Can you go to Goodwill for me?
No, because I have to go get these things.
Oh, you're going to go shopping. Shopping.
No,
I need you to go thrifting.
Sam's
I'm giving
House.
you permission to go thrifting.
I'm going to hang out with my friend.
So you admit that I have to do all the work and do all the shipping?
No, I'll come home at 9 o'clock after I pick up Reagan, and you don't care that I'm out here till 1 in the morning.
Oh,
shipping.
God, please. Listen to her. All right.
I even asked for help. I was like, this would go a lot faster if you were here with me. And you were like, okay, go. And then I go inside, and you're laying on the couch watching TV.
You're perpetuating Dave and Carrie's lies.
They're not lies.
Get out of here. You too. You get out of here too. You like her more than me anyways. Watch. You'll stay. Go.
No Name. What are you doing? Are you my buddy? Come on. Let's go.
Like there's somebody else. Who's my buddy?
You're supposed to take them. It's a cool little plush right here. A little Disney Parks Finding Nemo Seagull. I like that one. You don't see that one too often. $14.95 plus shipping. Now I want honest answers out there. So how many of y'all out there will absolutely negotiate tooth and nail for every dime you can save just because you know you can, and because in the end, if you buy right, you're going to make more money? You're ruthless out there. I would not characterize myself as ruthless. Now, back 5-6 years ago, I was a little tougher negotiator than I am now, just simply because I needed it badly. And now we've raised our income enough where it's it's not that big of a deal if you pay up for something from time to time, but it's still got it ingrained in me to get a good deal, the best deal I can. That's not to say, for all you folks out there, and you can be honest and just say, hey, I just am not comfortable negotiating, and if I don't get it for that price, I'm not going to buy it. If it's not priced or whatever they ask for, I'm not going to buy it. I get that too. I'm not being critical of anybody. And I think there certainly has to be enough space for people to do what they feel comfortable with, with different situations. If you find out you look this thing up and it's selling for $1,000 and they got it for $250, and you want to give them a little bit more, or if you end up at the end of the day with an item that's way better than you thought, and I've heard of people going back and doing whatever, that's all perfectly fine and good. I don't think it's necessary that folks do that, but if they want to, it's definitely not something that should be criticized. They're being generous and it's their own decision. But overall, around here especially, negotiating is expected, even at garage sales, by people at the garage sales. It's just part of whatever situation you're in. I think in part it's due to wherever you're at, whatever culture you're in the South or in the West or in the North or whatever. There's different kind of ways people operate, and it's kind of commonly known by the people who do it. But let me know what you think out there, and let me know what kind of person you are. Are you the kind that's going to claw every dime out of everything? Are you going to negotiate really hard, not at all, or somewhere in between? Tell me in the comments below. My wife is one of those folks who just is not comfortable negotiating, and she's much more comfortable going to a thrift store. And there's a lot of folks who comment on my videos, especially from up north. They get irritated when people don't put prices on their stuff at yard sales. And around here, you rarely see prices on items at garage sales. You almost always have to ask, and there's almost always a negotiation. Here's a money, damn it doll, it might be my last one. And it is new tags, doesn't have plastic on it, but $15.95 plus shipping. And I think what some folks don't see out there that are watching these is a lot of these people, especially at the flea markets, they're flipping stuff too. And I guarantee you they're trying to get it as cheap as they can and sell it for as much as they can most of the time, not at all garage sales. But the cheaper you can get it, the more wiggle room you have to give a slightly better deal to somebody buying it off of you. Not to mention all the folks out there like you guys. A lot of us are out there busting our butts, and some of you, like I did for years, we're just trying to make ends meet. And so for every extra $5 you give to somebody, or $8 or $6 or whatever it is, you're out there using gas up and doing all that stuff and all your energy and your labor. For all of that, people want to say you have to give exactly what the asking price is or something like that. All that money comes out of your pockets, out of your kids' pockets, out of your own home. So, I think the real debate is in the ethics of the actual deal itself, and that's it. Nothing to do with not giving what the asking price is. That's just my opinion. Because let's face it, the asking price for a lot of sellers, pro sellers out there, just like us, right, on eBay, is just the starting point. And a lot of sales are made with offers on eBay as well. So, all right, I gotta find the right one here. And it's a small one, I believe it's one of these. See if it says 18 inches on it. I think it's 18 inches. I can't remember. I'll dig it. Oh, look at that. Did I say 18? There it is, right there. It's one of these. It's Harley Davidson. I actually think these are like dog collars. I'm not even sure what they are, but I don't care. $19.95 plus shipping. Maybe I come from the penny saved is a penny earned crowd, I guess. Does that make me cheap? I guess maybe it does, but I pay attention to the little things that add up over time as well. Unlike Dave, ADH Dave, boy, there's just money just slipping through his fingers when he ships every day. Any rate, I'm just teasing, Dave.
The name's Rex.
Oh,
but
there
you'll
you
call
go.
me Captain or Sir.
My name is Rex. Look, I was going to tell you who it was, but he just told you.
Keep fighting!
Very cool. That sold for $14.20 plus shipping, which means it went out on offer, which means that, you know, you give a little when you buy something and you get a little every once in a while too, so I'll take it. I've got the Damn It Dog tubs in my way and the American Bubble Boy bubble wrap right there, which, by the way, a big thank you. There's been a ton of folks who have tried out the My Go-To tape. I've seen it on the little list I have of everybody who clicks that link, and I appreciate it. He's been supporting us, and he's been supporting you through different giveaways and stuff, which we've done, and I'm asking him, I just sent a message to him on these shows we're doing to clear out stuff if he's willing to give away 6 packs of tape, and I'll let you know. But I guess, my guess is he probably is. We'll do some giveaways. He gave away that year's worth of bubble wrap on that charity auction, so there's another topic, I guess, that ties into this. And I certainly think it is more than appropriate to be charitable, but I don't know. I don't tend to mix the business and charity part of it too much in my mind. But in reality, that's what ends up happening. And we've done a little bit of that, and I'm happy to be able to do it. And the reality is, it's not us doing it, it's you guys doing it, because you've been so generous to us. So definitely a time to pass it on from time to time. So PlayStation 2 Toy Story Pixar game, $10 plus shipping. And that doesn't really meet our requirement, but I thought it was a cool game, and it's close enough, right? So this one went to Kenneth. Hi, Kevin, viewer of your content and fellow reseller here. I'm excited to bring back some memories with this game. I'm a Disney fanatic. If you could give me a shout out, my eBay store is the Yard Sale Shark. The Yard Sale. I bet you don't pay the asking price every time. Not with a name like that. Anyway, part-timer in southeastern North Carolina, have been going hard at it for about 2 years, trying to get things moving in the store here for Q1. Thank you and take care. So southeastern part of the state, so the 301 might be on your radar for sure. We are probably going to do that. We're going to put that schedule out here, probably, I guess, if Mike Deathpile Picker can help me out with this. Tell me where I'm supposed to go, on Garage Sale Nation Facebook group. And that's growing over there. I think we're really close to 30,000 folks over there, and that's heating up as garage sale season comes by, and we've got a ton of awesome stuff. We're going to get out there on the road, bring the trailer, do giveaways, do shows. Should be a good time. We're inviting a bunch of other folks to join us as well, and we'll update you on that, but keep an eye on Whatnot for those live shows we're going to be doing at different locations as well. And speaking of getting your store moving, we've got the Enaman sold here, and it's sold to a viewer, obviously. We get things moving right there, the original, and those 29 we got back at the highway of the 100-mile yard sale. Thank you, by the way, to 540 Flips. I always mess your name up, but we really appreciate you. And of course, we've got those, so we might dip into them a little bit. That's not full, by the way. I put empty stuff behind it so it'll look cool. So we might, you know, after we sell these, we might go to like 1 a month. But this is the staple plush for all of you who are new to the channel. This guy will 100%, well, 99.9% of this time, scientifically proven to get your eBay store moving, like an enema should do, right? So he says, hi, Kevin and gang. I watch your videos throughout the week while being one of those terrible mailmen that all of us eBay sellers talk bad about. I appreciate the reseller community, even including Dave and Carrie, for all the great information y'all provide. Feel free to check out our eBay store at Treasure Coast Resellers. God bless y'all, and hopefully this gets our store moving. Clay and Kitty from Florida. I'm jealous of all the good picking y'all got down there, and the weather. Except for in the summertime. It's a little too hot. All right, sold this guy. Picked this up at a sale just down the road from me. Does not happen very often, and I had to get some help from some folks on the Facebook group, the Trash to Cash Podcast Facebook group, which is growing just insanely fast, by the way. And apparently they made different vehicles. This is G.I. Joe, maybe. It says Street Fighter. So there's different brands that would come into Hasbro. There's different dates on it. I think even Ninja Turtles had something like this at one point. They just used the different molds and put different things on them. And there's prices all over the place, so I couldn't quite figure out what to do with this one, but I got it for $1 or $2. Sold it for $21.95 plus shipping. And that one does not look like it's to a viewer. However, I wanted to mention this because I had a few viewers complain that I had mentioned if you use code Commonwealth, you get 5% off. And they said that it wasn't working, and I've never had those complaints before. And that's, of course, we use code Commonwealth for Bubble Boy and List Perfectly and My Go-To Tape, and what else do we use it for? My Reseller, Genie, everything basically is code Commonwealth. But on the eBay store as well, if you enter code Commonwealth, you get 5% off. Same thing over there on Dibdit. If you're a first-time user, you get $5 off. Dibdit.com. I didn't mean this to be a promo, but it worked out pretty well that way for me. My point is that I screwed it up and it lapsed. It was a year-long code, and at December 31st, it went off, but I kept saying it, and so some people didn't get it. So I tried to reimburse those folks. I may have missed somebody, but it should be working now. Let me know if it isn't, if somebody's made a purchase since you've heard this video, or not since you've heard this, in the last 3 days maybe, because that's when I fixed it, and let me know if it's working out there. Just for viewers, I put that out there. The people that watch me can hear it, but everybody else doesn't know about it. It's only 5%, but it's something, at least, to say thank you for all that you guys do for us. I went inside for a minute to, oh, here we go. Grab a couple things and get a bite to eat, and look at how nice you've been. You haven't even moved. It's been 20 minutes. 938 and 930C Duro decals. I knew these would be long tail for sure. I bought them from Aunt Lori down at Uncle Mark's garage sale last year, and we didn't pay a lot, but they are super slow movers. And a viewer, what are you doing? Picked them up, and we appreciate it. Jack and Geo right there, and I don't know what that is. Humpty Dumpty. Very cool. I think they're the third viewer sale of the day and last viewer sale of the day, which is a little bit less than 20%. So right about on par. Heather, thank you. I like your name there. Is that a play on words? Di Filippo or Filippo? Like the flipper? Because if it's Italian, I'd assume. Let me read this real quick. Let's see. Hello, I love these decals. I love nursery rhymes, and the art on these are so cool. And when we do sell them, we sell them to people who put them on like kids' furniture and stuff. So, at any rate, thank you. I have a binder of stuff like this, and I can't wait to add it to my collection. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with us. I am also old like you and have been selling on eBay since my daughter was born. Now she is 23, so yeah, I've been doing it for 22 years. Have a good day. Heather Brooke. So it's not. Maybe that is a play on words, unless you're Italian, which Flippo would be. Yeah, I got to brush up my AP. Sorry, I got to bore you with history here. I love last names. It's one of the things I use to teach different things all the time, especially when the little Latin that the kids needed for my class. It was as a history class, but it was still helpful. And so that would be what? Phila is love. So Phil. And hippo is horse. So it would be a horse lover. I think that's right. I think that would be, my Latin is okay these days. Anyway, sorry. Dare to dream, dare number 2, dare to dream big, 1313 is the name of the store. So we appreciate it. Hope you enjoy them. All right, Turner, show them the name of that book. Can you hold it up for me? The Best Clean Jokes. And this is the one Turner's got here to read. I'm like, oh, this can't be that clean. You're going to get in trouble. Your mom's not going to be happy with this joke. But go ahead and read it.
What is a good reason not to fix your wife's watch?
I'm going to lose like half my viewers out there. What is a good reason not to fix your wife's watch? This is bad. The unsubs are going to come rolling in right here. All right, buddy, what is it?
There's a clock on the oven.
Gosh. This was a bad career decision, buddy. Hey, come over here. We're going to want to thank Pat Dees, the traveling picker. He sent us his shirt. Pat, I met Kimmy, by the way, down there in... and Chris the Goose down there at the Trash to Cash Winter Bash. That's pretty cool. Stands out. One of the first lives I ever watched many, many years ago. Appreciate that. This came from CARE. I can't remember what it's called. Community Animal Rescue Effort, as a thank you for the donation that I'd say we made, but we didn't, because this particular one came from a viewer who gave us something and asked us to auction it off, which is not something we can keep up with all the time, but we did with this one. And I wanted you out there, the viewer out there, to know that we did that. So they sent us a thank you card. Very cool. And a little update over there. We have the Mulligan's, or what's it called? MulligansGolfShop.com over there on District. And we're looking for some good golf sellers over there if you want to come over there and sell golf stuff only, and it'll be a slow ride to get it started, but I am going to get a few people over there. I'm going to auction this off for $1. And there's not many people over there, so you might get it cheap. So if you want a giant Enaman driver head cover, go over there and check it out and put a bid in for it. So we appreciate you. Thank you, bud.
Bye.
Back to the Harley bin, but I would, for those of you who ask for history every once in a while, I would take one word, and once they got it in their head, I'd start connecting it to other things in history that they'd remember. One of them was they'd have to know some different architecture, and the hippodrome was one of them. Hippo is horse. It's like a horse track. Then I'd say something like hippopotamus, and then just say hippo means horse. Potamus is like potamia, which is water. So hippopotamus is water horse. And then I'd keep connecting it like potamia is now they got that because it's water, and meso means middle, so Mesopotamia would be in the middle of the waters. In this case, I'm looking in the wrong thing. I'm talking so much history. It would be between the Tigris and Euphrates, and then I'd talk about Mesoamerica, which is a term they'd see all the time, and it's in the middle of two Americas, north and south. And, all right, I'll stop boring you. I gotta look for an extra small Harley belt. There. The second one I found. Thought I'd be looking for a while. I'll leave these out. I'll touch them again and see if I can get a sale. And this one is selling for $28.99, I think is what it sold for. $28.49 plus shipping. I think that went off on a send offer. 5% off of $29.95. That was kind of my teaching style. It was very different than anybody else. I would just throw stuff at them constantly, and little bits and pieces would stick, and eventually they'd have a web big enough to catch bigger ideas. And that's kind of what I do on here. If you haven't figured it out, people always ask me for tutorial type videos, and I just don't do those because that just wasn't the style I would teach in. And people say they learn from this crazy whatever it is I'm doing here, but we have a good time. iRobot, like these are like sensors for those vacuums on the ground. Had one that wasn't working. When in doubt, farted out right there. And these sold for $17.95 for shipping. And I looked, and it's a first-time buyer, and that reminds me of that video we did the other day. I am not suggesting, nor do I ever suggest, that you not sell to first-time buyers. Those of us who have been doing this a long time, like a lot of you have out there, realize that it's those first-time buyers that are the ones that become second-time buyers, and third and fourth and fifth. And so giving them a good process and a good situation, I think we should even take more time for those buyers out there to keep bringing them back for more, regardless what eBay does, regardless whatever. You know, this is a lot of folks' lifeline to make ends meet. I think it's important to sell to those first-time sellers, but in that case, if you haven't seen that video, I was being pretty specific. First-time buyer from basically this street is maybe something you should stay away from. And to be a little bit more specific, because I took a ton of criticism from some folks who said, you know, you should tell us the exact address and you should give us the account number and all that. The account number won't matter because they just keep changing the account, you know, the name on it. That's not going to make a difference. I could give that out, but it wouldn't help anybody out. The street was Hillcrest in DeKalb, Illinois, if it's a first-time buyer. So that was as specific as I thought I needed to be. The other reason I didn't give it out was because through all these people that I had talked to, there were slight variances of the address, which means it's somebody around there, and also the possibility that someone's trying to pull it all over on somebody else, and the prank really isn't on us, although I think it is. It could be on somebody else, so that's why I did that. And of course, there was one more reason as well, which is somebody out there might take it upon themselves to send these folks disgusting, rotten stuff in the mail, and that's not going to solve anything. Well, probably not. And I didn't want that to happen. Where the heck are these cards? Every time I come in here, I look for these cards. I can't ever find them. They're right in front of my face. Down there, an old school picker's drawer. Chris, hope you're doing well. And there it is. That's the end of the road for the Mustang cards. $14.95 plus shipping for a pin and the 50th anniversary sealed pack of playing cards. And I just noticed this was a viewer. So 4 viewer sales, which means it's closer to 25% of the sales to viewers today. So we appreciate that. Love watching your channel. I bought this for a young man who has his first car, just bought his first car, a black Mustang convertible. That was very nice of you. I appreciate that. Irene, thank you very much. I hope he enjoys it, and thank you for the purchase and for the support. Hey, I filmed this after the video. I'm going to throw it back in a little bit sooner in the video because I keep forgetting this. My reseller, Genie, is giving away 1 month free. So if you would, do me a favor. We're going to do one more next episode because I forgot to do it last month. So if you would, if you are interested in this, and only put it out there if you're interested in it, so the people that they want to try it out, but they don't want to pay for it, they just want to kind of give it a trial, you get 1 free month. Put I Dream of Genie in the comments, and we'll draw that, and then we'll give it to somebody, and they'll send you the information, set you all up over there, and get you started. 1 free month. And if you don't like it, you'll like it. And you don't have to keep doing it. So thank you to Paul and Faith. Always, if you are interested in trying it, there's always a code, no matter if you win or not. There's a code. There's a link below, code Commonwealth, 15% off. Wanted to add one more thing in here. Actually, I think that show's passed. I was going to say, Reagan's doing a Disney pin show over there. But I think it's past at this point. But we are going to be doing, for part of this February clear out, we're going to be doing quite a few different shows over on Whatnot. And bulk items, non-bulk items, some eBay stuff too. It's not like it's all stuff under eBay. We're going to really, really push it. And over there on Dibdit on February 8th, we're going to be doing multiple shows throughout the course of the day and a ton of other sellers. Some you may know, some you've never seen before are going to be on there selling with us as well over there. Should be fun. And we're going to be selling tons of video game stuff and consoles over there. Come check us out. If you don't mind, have a little fun and hang out with us live. I hate to do lives, but I'll do them on those shows from time to time. And I jotted this down and forgot. There was 3 or 4 people, I don't know if it's the same person changing names, that told me I'm an awful person for selling those voodoo dolls. Maybe we'll talk about that next time. Anyway, thank you all, as always, for joining us. We appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you next time.